and say that one. 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln hotline, starter Heyman text line. As always, guys, we want to hear from you. Strick, I just want to kind of get your thoughts from last night. I know we're not necessarily volleyball connoisseurs. I wouldn't say that we're like experts when it comes to volleyball, but I think all of the state of Nebraska was tuning in last night as the ladies ended up defeating Creighton in 5 sets. Like I said, I mean, I'm still a little bit newer to volleyball, I'll be entirely honest, because outside of Nebraska, it's not as big of a deal, but it is one of those things, like, once you get hooked on it, like, I think I'm hooked.
You're hooked in.
Because it's just fun to watch, and they're incredibly athletic.
No question.
Incredibly athletic, and it's just fun to watch. It was great, obviously, to see the Huskers get a win too, in-state rival. And from what I'm hearing, it looks like this is a serious national championship contender.
I mean, listen, one of the beautiful things about Nebraska, and I think this is something that people overlook and is missed, is Nebraska and volleyball is queen here. I mean, it is top of the line all across the country. It is talked about, it is spoken of, and 13 of the highest attendance marks of all time have been set in the state of Nebraska.
Really?
13.
I did not know that, actually.
Of the all-time. The previous record was 14,022, which was set in 2018, and it was Creighton, Nebraska.
Okay.
This one shattered the records at 15,797 that showed up at Shy Health Center on Wednesday night. Great games. The set started off, Nebraska ranked number 2, obviously Creighton ranked number 17. Got off to a good start. Nebraska pulled out really tough ones, though. I mean, it was the first two. It looked like they were about to run away with it. They haven't lost a set all year, and Creighton, fought hard. Won a 25-27 on the next one, and then 17-25 on the one after that. And then, obviously Nebraska was too strong late, pulled it out with 15-9. But it was great, man. It's great to see. They come up next on Saturday afternoon. They match up against Long Beach State at the Devaney at 3 p.m. So shout out to the Lady Huskers, getting it done.
Seriously.
Still ranked number 1, 6-0. Got some fun games that are coming up for them. Obviously, you've got the Long Beach State. But, hey, listen, y'all. Get ready. Tuesday, Fat Tuesday, September the 13th, Stanford comes into the Devaney.
Really?
Stanford. Getting in here to get it done. And then after that, on the 18th, that Sunday, they face Kentucky, which I think Kentucky was the only loss other than Nebraska that they gave to Creighton. So that's going to be a tough little matchup as well.
It will be a tough matchup. And also shout out to everyone here at the station, talking trash and off the court. We have a bunch of volleyball girls that come in and out too. So we definitely want to give a shout out to that. Always tune in for Ticket Weeknights because we have athletes across the entire landscape here in Nebraska that you definitely want to check out. We're going to head to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. John Squire, our main guy, our main man. What's going on?
Hey, fellas, I love this show. I love your show. Strick, it's awesome to have you part of this crew, too. We grew up the same time, and I've been following your career all the way through, so it's fun to talk to you, too.
John, man, thank you so much for the love. It's much appreciated. We thank you for your continued support, always. Man, and we just try to put out some good content, man. We look, we don't always agree, and I might jump on the hokey hoaxster every now and then, but at the end of the day, man, we're appreciative of the opportunity to work together. It's been great so far, and we're looking to continue on the work that we're doing here for you all here on the block.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Hey, I was just going to bring up, the bigger picture of the volleyball, I think Nebraska in general values their female athletes, and I'm not talking just in college. I'm talking just in high school and youth league. Their female athletes as much as anybody, and you can see, I mean, the number of high-level Division I girls that not only fill up the Nebraska roster and the Creighton roster, but a number of other colleges around the country. Like, that just says a lot about our state, and it is what it should be, and it's not just volleyball. You look at the women's basketball team, and I follow the softball team obviously, and I just love the fact that it's important and people come and watch and they follow and there's an interest, and then along with that, you guys probably support and give more attention to those teams than about anybody else. So much love. That's why I love this station.
Thanks so much
awesome,
again,
John. Yeah, we appreciate the call. And shout out to Abby Squire too, his daughter. One of the standouts for Nebraska softball this past season as well. And I like that he brought up too. Stricken, you can talk about it too. I mean, someone that played at the university, I think that is kind of important that Nebraska, just as a state, like a big focus here is on the women's side of sports, which I think is important. And I think a lot of other schools should honestly probably follow in that path.
I think they should get credit. And that's why listen, for excellence, it's not even about all the other stuff that try to people the global and all the media tries to throw out there with regards to creating differences and conflict amongst the groups you find with the WNBA and all that stuff. Listen, throw that out the window. We are promoting and supporting excellence,
right?
Period. That is something that these wonderful ladies as Huskers and as even Creighton, the wonderful work they're doing, they are operating in excellence right now. And they're filling up the arenas. They're getting the following and the support. They're doing their jobs, what's called of them in high pressure situations. When we've seen others kind of falter, wilt, and give up and bow down when it comes to the pressure. Support to the women, man. I mean, shout out. I'm just supporting the excellence of the women, and I just felt we needed to talk about it. They got the job done. It was tough. They could have wilted. They could have gave in. But me, this is the mentality Stricky has. I need it to be known right now, and I need you to all understand it. The Huskers have improved to 21-0 all time against their in-state rival.
That is now I saw that stat.
Listen,
stat too.
Stricky's 4-0 against Creighton. I refuse. I refuse to lose to Creighton. It was a negative. Listen, I was going to do whatever it took to not lose to Creighton. I had to see those guys in the off season. I wanted to show up in Omaha, whether it be in the club, in the bar, in the park,
because you're from around the area.
Listen, you ain't gonna be able to say nothing to Stricky except you took that L. That's the one. That's all. I am not happy. I'm telling you, I walk around the campus. Sometimes I go into the basketball around. I'm looking around like, when are you mother suckers? When are you gonna freaking beat Creighton? I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? And look, shout out to them, man. Mac is getting it done.
They got a good program.
Yeah, Mac is getting it done, man. I mean, they're doing it. They're doing it right.
So not a J-Sker then, because I know I heard Rashawn today saying that he roots for Creighton, but maybe it's just different because Creighton doesn't have a football team. It sounds like you're probably on the other side of it.
I mean, I root for them. I do. I root for them because they're state. Anything in the state, I'm supporting. You know what I mean? Like for me too, anything Big Ten outside of playing Nebraska, I'll support you. You know what I mean? I'll support Auburn because I was born there.
Right.
I am very much like that. I support where I have some tie, some roots, some connection. I think I shared with you yesterday. I don't even like the Cowboys like that. Like I don't freaking like them like that.
I know.
But I support them because I played there, and I've got friends that played on the team, and my stepchildren was Deion Sanders. Was their dad. You know what I mean? So
right.
we knew each other playing when I was with the Mavericks, and these guys, so you support them, right? Same thing. I do not like the Colts, but I support them.
Hey.
If I see them, I support them.
Right.
And I definitely never liked the Patriots. But because I played in Boston, if I see them against somebody that I'm not familiar with, I supported them. And that's the crazy thing about my life.
Right. So we support Creighton.
I support Creighton.
One way or the other.
I'm not going to go as far as to say I'm a J-Sker because I bleed all red. But I will say that I will support them. I support them outside anytime they're playing Nebraska. I'll support them.
See, I haven't really picked a side yet because, Strick, I'm new here, and I obviously support Nebraska athletics. I haven't decided if I like Creighton or not. I tell you what, though, I think they're going to be pretty darn good at basketball this year.
I think they're going to be pretty darn good. And I'm rooting for
good.
because we've been so overlooked. This is why I started the company I started with cerebralsports.com, is because we as a nation, as a state, have been overlooked. Players that have come out of here, they kind of get passed over. I remember we used to show up in Vegas and they would look at us and they'd be like, oh, this is just Nebraska. We're about to blast them. And we would go out and give them that work
out for you.
You know what I mean? So it was the same thing with us in Nebraska. When we showed up, you may not have believed it, but you just know you were going to be in a physical one.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Nebraska, for what it's worth, they got a big matchup this weekend. Hopefully get their record over 500. But there's other games around the college football landscape. We're going to talk to Andrew Alex with 24/7 Sports. We're going to break down all the games happening this weekend that you should have an eye on outside of Nebraska versus Georgia Southern. That'll be next right here on The Block. Stay with us.
Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
Keep your tailgate cool with the dazzling hot deal from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase of only $1,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sartor Heyman has gorgeous jewelry in every price range, so buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a Yeti cooler for free. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and snatch up this cool jewelry deal. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Sip said maybe at the end of the game, if Nebraska's about to win,
a minute left,
the PA or the music guy should play "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees.
And why not?
To entertain the crowd. We all understand why it's being played, and we're all celebrating and dancing.
And it adds levity to this season that's so unappealing in a lot of ways. Add some levity. Can you imagine
Early
that?
break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices. Helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Join DB and Jay Foreman for Old School today from 4 to 6 at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday. Today, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Clothiers, and Brent Excavate.
Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. And they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate. Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Windy and hot conditions here for our Thursday, topping out near 95. A south wind will be gusting over 25 at times. A few passing clouds tonight with a low down to 64. We'll start to cool things off tomorrow with a high of around 83 and a chance of scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into On the Block. My name is Nate Brennan. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. You're listening to On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket, 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. As always, we want to hear from you. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you head over to YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Trying to get to 1,500 subscribers by the time we kick off against Georgia Southern. So make sure you hit us up on all those platforms. We would obviously love to hear from you. Going to get into some college football talk with Andrew Alex here in a second with 24/7 Sports. But first off, I want to read a tweet from Field Yates.
Stricky called it.
From just 12 minutes ago.
Stricky.
The Panthers have added running back Christian McCaffrey to the injury report due to a shin issue. Now, he does point out that he was a full participant in practice today, something definitely to keep an eye on if you took him in fantasy football. I decided not to take him first overall. I instead went with Jonathan Taylor. Andrew, I will bring you in and see how upset you are, because I know that very recently you actually took Christian McCaffrey in your fantasy football draft.
Yeah, it's a tough day to be a clown, man. It's very difficult to be a clown, but hey, I'm in like 6 fantasy football leagues. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. You got that number 2 spot on the board, and it's like, yeah, why not take the flyer? But all we can hope for now is that this is Matt Rule, the psychopath that he is, just trying to troll the public, kind of in the same way that Bill Belichick used to put Tom Brady on the injured list every single game, and he was never actually hurt. Maybe it's a troll. Unfortunately, if the past is prologue, probably not. He's out for the season.
You know what? Christian McCaffrey is a feast or famine type of pick, right? Because if he's healthy, his numbers are going to be there.
That's a big if.
But that's a big if. It seems to me like there's a Carolina curse, a cat curse or something. He normally would have 9 lives, but it just don't seem like any of those lives are working for him right now.
Andrew, I will say though,
I mean, at the end of the day, you're absolutely right, Strick, because even when he's gone in and out of being injured, like the games that he's played, it's just like Christian McCaffrey is back.
Yeah.
Same old Christian McCaffrey. But
boom.
Unfortunately, then 2 games later, his other foot breaks.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that's kind of the end of that. So tough times in Carolina, but the difference between the Panthers maybe being able to hover around 500 and first pick in the draft basically lies on that man's foot, shin, knee, whatever it is this time around.
That is very true. Hey, I'll tell you what, though, as someone that lives in Charlotte, it'll make tickets a lot cheaper. Andrew Alex with 24/7 Sports joining us as he does every Thursday to go around the college football landscape, get some of his thoughts. So, Andrew, before I get into some of the matchups this weekend, it looks like there's going to be some good ACC Big Ten matchups as well, too. What's your biggest takeaway from this past weekend?
My biggest takeaway from this past weekend is that there should be a preseason for college football. Yes, you should play an exhibition game that doesn't count. I'm sure my Nebraska Husker fans agree that, that wasn't the best, the most polished product that they put out there in Ireland in their week one, which was, of course, week 0. And then as a Virginia Tech fan, you're looking at a team that goes against Old Dominion, first year, new coach, new quarterback, a lot of newcomers at every skill position in the offensive line, and 15 penalties for 115 yards, the most by any Tech team since 2005, I believe it was. Yes, 2005. Strick, were you still in the NBA in 2005?
I was. That was my last year.
But I really do wish they had like one preseason game to just iron things out. But you know what they say, the biggest improvements for these teams are made between week 1 and week 2. And I guess for you guys in Nebraska, sometimes it takes until the second half of week 2.
We're certainly hoping that isn't the case again. Andrew Alex, 24/7 Sports joining us. So I know you're a big ACC guy. That's where a lot of your knowledge comes from. But I know that you're also you've been following this Nebraska team in Northwestern as well. So the first matchup I got for you this weekend probably won't have too much interest outside of Northwestern here in Nebraska. But break this one down for us. Duke Northwestern. It seems like a whole lot of unknown in this matchup.
Well, look. Here's what I'll say. There is one ACC team with a winning record in the month of September against Power 5 opponents since 2005. Power 5 opponents, of course, being non-ACC members of the Power 5. That team is Duke. They are 6-0, yes. Duke since 2017 has not lost to a Power 5 opponent. How, you ask, people of Nebraska? It's because they only ever scheduled Northwestern and Kansas. So, if to pass this prologue, we need to look at the Devils here. But, of course, you guys saw Northwestern. This is a team that returned all their starters on the offensive line. This is a team that, at quarterback with Zielinski, so far so good. He's, completing almost 75% of his passes, in that first game against Nebraska, which, of course, was a win for the Wildcats. Duke is supposed to be terrible, and they beat Temple, which I'm sorry, Nathan, I know your boy Quincy Patterson is the quarterback at Temple right now. Temple is about as low as you can go in the college football world. I don't care if Duke won 30-0. Duke's undefeated non-conference streak in September ends on Fox Sports 1 at noon on Saturday. Northwestern wins. Northwestern covers, by the way. I think it's only like a 10-point spread.
Wow.
Well, here's one that I want to throw out to you. I mean, I know that my partner has some great games in line, but this is the one that I want to throw out to you. Iowa State. In-state rivalry game, Big 12, Big 10, it's going down. But here's the crazy thing. Iowa last week played a game where it looked like it was a soccer score. It looked like I thought it was a soccer game. I didn't know it was
5-3.
I didn't know what was going on over there, but it was that kind of game. But at the end of the day, Iowa State is supposed to be emerging last year, going 9-3, 8-1 in the Big 12, and also beating Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. So what type of game are we to expect here where Iowa owns the series by double digits, but at the same time, this could be a different look as far as this in-state rivalry. What's your thoughts on that game?
Well, I expect it to be a game that I would describe as a rock fight. And you got to go to the previous scores, on the football field for these teams. Even since Matt Campbell took over, you look back to 2018, 13-3 Iowa, 18-17 Iowa. Last year, big matchup, almost a year to the date. It was number 10 Iowa versus number 9 Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
That one a little bit more high scoring. Iowa still comes out on top. So for everything that Matt Campbell has accomplished at Iowa State so far, things that people generally didn't think were possible, and this wasn't a very high profile coach coming in. Right. He still has yet to get that win over the in-state rival. The game is in Iowa City, so it's going to be on the road in that tough environment. We know that, what is it, Kinnick Stadium or something like that? My Big Ten knowledge eludes me sometimes. But one of the most difficult places to play. Nebraska fans can certainly attest. But at the end of the day, I mean, if South Dakota State's holding you to 7 points, your offense has got some problems. And, I saw on Twitter, someone posted a list of poor box scores for quarterbacks throughout the week. And it's like someone said, these guys look like they all have an Iowa stat line. And they haven't gotten that quarterback problem figured out. I don't know. Maybe this is Matt Campbell's year. The Hawkeyes look terrible. Give me Matt Campbell winning his first game over the Hawkeyes.
I love it.
Coming up here on the Big Ten Network.
You only heard that on the block. Straight out of Andrew Alex, 247 Sports mouth. You heard it on the block. Iowa State, what's the score again so I can make note?
We said it's going to be a rock fight. We're going to say, can I give it could be 6-3? Like the Virginia Tech Wake Forest game in 2014, 0-0 until overtime. Both coaches celebrating. Frank Beamer with 2 arms up. No, in all seriousness, I'll go 21-17.
Love it. 17. Love it. Iowa State comes out on top.
We'll see. What's interesting?
Sir. Cyclone Nation, baby.
Cyclone Nation. What's interesting, too, is last week, Andrew, you bring up the Iowa offense. That 7 points actually was a field goal, safety, and then another safety. So, Iowa's offense not too great. Let's jump back over to a Big Ten ACC matchup. This one, I definitely know who I'm rooting for, but I don't know.
Of course we do.
I don't know if Husker Nation's going to agree with me. Virginia, they'll face off against the Fighting Illini of Illinois, probably two of the most mediocre teams in college football. What are we thinking for this one? Obviously, we want the Cavaliers to lose.
We do want the Cavaliers to lose here, but at the end of the day right now, Nathan, Illinois is a favorite and beyond just that home field advantage spread. Why? Because, Illinois playing a closer game with Indiana. They absolutely walloped Wyoming a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
So far, the defensive line has been able to show some push. And, Brendan Armstrong, I know the quarterback from Virginia, is actually a very talented quarterback. In Virginia, I believe he is now their all-time leader in passing yards or something like that. He runs a lot, too. He's their all-time leader in yardage as a quarterback. He breaks that record last week. He comes back, probably should have transferred, when Bronco Mendenhall left. But that's a one-man show right there. They had 3 all-ACC linemen with eligibility left. None of them went pro. They all transferred to other schools when Bronco left. That offensive line is going to be abysmal, big, tough, in the trenches. Big Ten football is going to be an issue for what might very well be the worst offensive line in the ACC, and that is when they're at full health. So give me Illinois in this one. I know Illinois is mediocre, but maybe I'm just pushing this into existence, but Virginia's just going to be bad.
All right. I had to bring up this one. Probably the game of the weekend. Got a lot of eyes on it. The spread confuses me a little bit, but they might not be buying Quinn Ewers. That's right. Alabama, they'll travel to Texas and play Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns. I know it's a big spread. I know Alabama, one of the better teams in the country, but to be honest with you, I see Texas keeping it close. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, if you want me to give you the argument that why Texas would get blown out of the water here, if you really are feeling that, man, go ahead and bet it. Texas is plus 800 money line. Wow. Alabama is a 20-point favorite in that contest. Look, Texas has got skill players. Bijan Robinson, Xavier Worthy, these are guys who are some of the top recruits coming out. These are guys who, when you add in Quinn Ewers and his ability to sling that football, apparently a big upgrade from Casey Thompson there. If they can get into this game early, maybe they can make it interesting. But again, it comes down to the offensive line where defensively, as it has been for however long Nick Saban's been there, I guess going back to 2007, give them a year to adjust. Alabama's defense is stout. It is an all-star team. Pretty much everyone there is going to end up in the pros in some way, shape, or form. And Texas's offensive line needs to hold up. If they can, maybe this one can be interesting. But I think there's going to probably be too much tied at the end. Bryce Young, the running game, superb wide receivers. I don't know if I like them to cover, but Texas certainly isn't going to win.
Well, I sure hope that they do, because that would be really nice to see Alabama go down early. All right, I'll go ahead and ask you about Nebraska. I know over here we've been talking about it quite a bit. I always like to get the outside perspective from you, someone that follows the team, maybe not as closely as we do here in Lincoln. Do they beat Georgia Southern, and how badly do they beat them? North Dakota game looked a little rough.
Yeah, things did look rough in Lincoln. I got to ask before I even answer this question, what was the mood? What was the environment like in that stadium at halftime?
Well, I'll tell you, we ended up leaving at halftime because I was like, you know what? If Nebraska loses this game, I really don't want to be here for it. It felt eerie. Like, so you could feel the tension in the air. And you got to remember too, that game was 4 minutes left in the third quarter. It was still tied at 17-17. So not great. I will say the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter, Anthony Grant really broke out. Looks like he's going to be the bell cow this season. Nebraska has some things to build on. But you know him very well, Andrew. I don't know if you knew this or not. Clay Helton, obviously Georgia Southern, starting quarterback. Kyle Van Treese, former quarterback at Buffalo. I know you love you some action, so that's definitely been a big talking point for us too. But I do think when all is said and done, they'll beat Georgia Southern. I'm just not sure how handedly.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia Southern, traditionally one of the better programs, in that Sun Belt Conference. Right. I mean, they've been a solid football program going back to when they were an FCS team and they were winning national championships under former Georgia Tech triple option coach Paul Johnson.
Nice.
Learned that the other day. But, this is a game that Nebraska needs to win. And they really do need to make a statement. Not that it really matters. Like, statements are worth nothing at this point. If you're Scott Frost, the only statement that you can really have is beat Oklahoma and then go on to have a winning Big Ten season, maybe save your job. Right. You guys were talking national championship. So far, early returns are not good. So if you're in Nebraska, you need to get Casey Thompson going early. Take care of the football.
Facts.
And then get Anthony Grant going. Use your offensive line to, what's the difference between a group of 5 school and a Power 5 school, especially in the Big Ten? It's going to happen in the trenches. And that, on both sides of the football, in the trenches, Nebraska needs to dominate. Get up early, assert your dominance, 2 touchdowns, and let Georgia Southern know who's Nebraska, who's Georgia Southern, who's supposed to win this game. Get the crowd into it. You do not want that eerie feeling, because, Nathan, you're exactly right. In a game like that, I don't blame you for leaving early, because when the score is 7-7 at halftime, you've essentially already lost as a fan. Like, you're not, no matter what happens in the second half, you're not going to leave happy. Leave nothing to doubt if you're the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I don't know if they can do it, but I certainly want it to happen, because I want there to be some intrigue heading into that big game against Oklahoma.
Andrew Alex from 24/7 join us. The last question I have for you, are you okay? I know a lot of people were tweeting at me worried about my well-being after the Virginia Tech loss to Old Dominion. Are you handling it okay? And are we moving on to Boston College expecting a win?
Am I okay? I don't know. I know I've been okay in years. Have I gotten over it? Sort of. I mean, it is what it is. There's a quote from Spider-Man, actually, from the newest Spider-Man movie. And it's, if you expect disappointment, you'll never truly be disappointed. And that's kind of how I felt going into that game against Old Dominion. I was doing a lot of research. I was watching Old Dominion's tape, and I was like, oh, God, we're probably going to lose this. And we lost, but for none of the reasons that I thought we were. Virginia Tech allowed the least yards to a to an FBS opponent in like 3 years. The defense completely shut them down. It was just a comedy of errors between the snap flying over, the long snap on a field goal, flying over the holder's head, essentially a 10-point swing early on in the game. You could go up by 7. Now you're down by 3. To untimely interceptions, essentially whenever it could possibly happen. And as I mentioned, 15 penalties, 106 yards. You gave the length of the field to them for free. You allowed them to continue to drive, and you stopped your own. That's how you lose, when clearly Virginia Tech was the more talented team. Now, the problem is, I don't know how many teams on the schedule right now where at least our offense versus their defense, Virginia Tech is going to be the more talented team. So, I'm a little bit worried, but Boston College rushed for like 5 yards against Rutgers. So maybe. Baker thinks we're the favorites. I'm going to bet on Boston College.
Real quick, Alex, listen, real quick. And how can things get turned around in Blacksburg in the NIL generation? I mean, I don't want you to have to dig too long on it, but what is something that they can do initially to help get things turned around in Blacksburg? Because it is a great college atmosphere, town. They've had great success in getting athletes like the Vicks and defenses that have been phenomenal. Like, how can they get back to that? What do they need to do in this NIL generation?
Well, it's one of those things where I think to some degree it's going to require putting the cart before the horse. Now, Virginia Tech is a team where, given the competition that they have in the ACC, even though Blacksburg's a little bit more remote, you play Pittsburgh, you play Boston College, you play these teams that aren't necessarily football powerhouses. Now, NIL is going to give a big advantage to Florida State to Miami, but Virginia Tech needs to do more with less, which is the opposite of what they were able to do under Justin Fuente. Fuente's first couple of recruiting classes, which were ultimately the teams that he coached throughout his tenure, there was nothing wrong with them on the recruiting trail. Those were top 30 classes, nothing special, but he wasn't able to do anything with that talent. Unfortunately, towards the end, that's where recruiting dropped off, and that's the mess that Brent Pryde's left to deal with. So you got to do more with less. You got to get this team competitive. You got to get the fans back into it, because ultimately, Virginia Tech has alumni, as an expanding school that, our president here at Virginia Tech, Tim Sands, is trying to make Virginia Tech in the Big Ten model, a much bigger student body. And those people are located all over the D.C. metropolitan area, down to Charlotte, Atlanta, and then up to the New York and Boston area. There's Virginia Tech alumni everywhere. There's a huge opportunity, in the world of NIL, where if the team can really re-inspire the alumni base, there's going to be some earnings potential there. So it's going to come down to Brent Pryde to be able to bring in talent, given what he has right now. And so far, so good. He's re-engaged, a lot of those bridges in Virginia that were burned by the previous coaching administration. But I think we learned on Friday, Strick, it's not going to be a one-year rebuild. We kind of got to the point of no return. But, you look at a school like Iowa State or even a Baylor who, compared to Virginia Tech in football prowess over the course of the last 2 decades, they really kind of came up from nothing. So it's possible. It can be done. I hope Brent Pryde is the man to do it. He seems to have the character. Now, you just got to put a respectable season together, get back on the recruiting trail, and really make this program your own. Because unfortunately, year one of a new coach, and you guys know probably from the last couple of times that you guys switched over in Nebraska, you're really in that first year, you're still in a limbo. You got a new coach, but with the players from the previous regime, and it's kind of awkward.
Well, Andrew, I tell you what, the reach of Virginia Tech alumni goes all the way over to the state of Nebraska. So definitely got a good alumni reach there.
Yeah, the people who listen to your radio show are reminded of that every day.
Whether they like it or not. Hey, we appreciate you. We will go ahead and talk to you next week. Let's go go Big Red, and let's go Hokies.
Go Big Red, folks.
Awesome. We appreciate Andrew joining us every Thursday. Definitely some great insight across the entire landscape of college football, because there's a lot of games this weekend, especially in the Big Ten, that are pretty interesting matchups. There's a couple ACC Big Ten matchups. I know there's matchups throughout the country. Definitely very intriguing, as always. And we're going to keep that kind of vibe rolling on Shootout with Strick. I'm not going to say the category because Strick doesn't let me do that anymore, but we will have Shootout with Strick next. Similar vibe. We'll be talking some college football. Maybe you can interpret that means. Go ahead and call us, 402-464-5685. We want to hear from you. Shootout with Strick, $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Coming up next on The Block. Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School today from 4 to 6 at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday. Today, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th. It's glow time. See club for details.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning in to Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Bauer Infrastructure is a new name from a well-established brand, and they're paving the way to progress. And they're hiring. Bauer Infrastructure is hiring truck drivers, carpenters, truck mechanics, and equipment operators. and they have industry-leading benefits to maintain a work-life balance. Bauer offers paid time off and paid holidays, a matching 401k plan, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, a clothing allowance, and more. Start your new career today by applying at BauerInfrastructure.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
That is correct. It is time to play the game Shootout with Strick. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All you got to do is call the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. 5 questions for you, 5 for Strick. One of those being the money ball worth 2 points. If you're tied at the end, we'll go to a tiebreaker. Can't tell you the category. Strick doesn't like you guys using Google. Again, we are a station of integrity here. Make sure that you know this on the fly. You know what you're talking about. But go ahead and call us, 402-464-5685. All you got to do is call in. You got to beat Strick, and then you will walk away with $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings, because Strick He plays for the people. You did win yesterday. No, you didn't.
Yes,
you did.
I did.
No,
My
I always got to watch it with you, Strick, because sometimes you'll say that you won, and then I'm like,
You're killing me. You be trying to kill my little streak.
No, I'm not killing any streak. The thing is, you got to get back on the 3-game win streak, because then I can give you the NBA Jam sound that I know that you like. But we're still.
So I won Friday and Monday.
No. You didn't win Friday. You lost the tiebreaker.
I
remember that.
So
I remember because I always like when it
yesterday.
goes to the tiebreaker.
I won Tuesday and Wednesday.
See,
so today is the day.
I don't know. Did you win Tuesday?
Hey, Rico.
Yeah, Rico's our
I
official.
won Tuesday, right? No? Are you sure?
Rico's the official.
Oh, I
He's
lost in overtime with the last question. That's right. I lost in overtime. It was like two. Yeah, I remember now.
Because I was about to say
was 2 points.
there was a couple times, that you lost.
It was really close. It was something to do with the running backs yards, and I said it was like 163 and he was, or 263 and he was like, it was over. It was like 283. I remember. I got a good memory.
See, there you go. 402-464-5685 Honda of Lincoln Hotline. Still looking for a caller. Again, $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line. All you got to do is answer some trivia questions and beat Strick. That's the thing, Strick. When you keep getting on these winning streaks, people get scared. People don't want to play you anymore.
I do lose, and I lose for the people. But I do love it. If you don't call, then I just get the chicken. So it's okay for me to win the chicken.
That's why we need
sometimes wings and things need to show up in Strickland's lap. It's okay.
Wings and things. That's speaking of Buffalo Wings and Rings, they do have some really good French fries too. So the wings and things. That's definitely something that we got to keep in mind.
Yeah.
For sure.
No caller. I didn't want to. I wanted to just take the forfeit.
I just saw
those are the best things. Listen, those are the best things to take the forfeit. When I used to be a referee, and then they didn't show up to play. I was like, I didn't have to do the game.
Yeah, then it works. We will head to the Honda of Lincoln Hotline. Eric, I'll go ahead and give you the category now that you're on the phone. College matchups this weekend. How well do you know this weekend's schedule?
Oh my gosh, not very well.
All right. Well, we still have faith in you because Strick, again, he plays for the people. Go ahead and stay on the line, Eric. You know how this goes. We're going to get Strick's points first, see how many you have to get, and then we will come to you on the back end. Strick, are you ready?
All righty.
All right. We will go in 3, 2, and 1. Wake Forest will travel to this SEC school, Vanderbilt or Mississippi State?
Vanderbilt.
That is correct. Texas Tech hosts this ranked American school, Houston or Memphis?
Memphis.
It's Houston. BYU hosts this Big 12 school, Oklahoma State or Baylor?
Baylor.
That is correct. Kansas State will host this SEC school, South Carolina or Missouri?
South Carolina.
It's Missouri. And your Moneyball question, matchup of the weekend. Alabama will travel to what Big 12 school? Excuse me. Didn't even have to let me finish because you knew that one automatically. And that, we're going to wait. So I know sometimes you like to do a little pump fake. That will do it. Strick is correct. That will finish him with 4 points. Definitely the matchup of the weekend that I'm keeping an eye on. Alabama and Texas. So
me, Iowa and Iowa State.
Iowa State. That's also a really good matchup. Eric, now knowing that Strick got 4 points, you feeling better, worse, or are you about the same?
About the same.
All right, Eric. You know what? For what it's worth, I believe in you. Are you ready?
All right. Thank you.
All right. We will start in 3, 2, and 1. Pittsburgh hosts this SEC school, Tennessee or Kentucky?
Tennessee.
That is correct. Stanford hosts this Pac-12 rival, USC or Cal?
Cal.
It's actually USC. UCF will host this ACC school on Friday night, Georgia Tech or Louisville?
Louisville.
That is correct. Air Force will host this former Nebraska rival, Miami or Colorado?
Colorado.
That is correct. And your money ball for the win, West Virginia hosts this basketball national champion.
Oh my gosh, Connecticut.
No!
At the buzzer, Eric, Kansas. Kansas is who
Oh
West Virginia.
gosh.
You knew that one. See, that's the thing. When I tell you afterwards, you always know it. West Virginia will host Kansas this weekend. Luckily for you, Eric, that does not mean that the game is over. Go ahead and hang up right now because the third caller, like Strick says, he plays for the people. You will get $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All you got to do is call, and you will be the third caller.
Boom shakalaka! Flawless victory. Give me a hell.
Oh, I shouldn't even give you the flawless victory.
Yes, you should. You did the right thing.
Hey, you missed a couple.
No, you did the right thing.
But that will be Back to back for Strick, so not quite on the winning streak yet, but we're
and I ain't
definitely
like the Lakers,
getting close to there.
like the Bulls.
But hey, for what's I mean, we are getting closer to your win streak. Like I always like to do, I want to give you the tiebreaker just to see how close you get. So we talked about Iowa, South Dakota State. Iowa escaped 7-3, didn't score a single touchdown, but they did have 2 safeties, which is pretty impressive. How many passing yards did Spencer Petras throw for in the win?
167.
Well, Strick, I think that would be tough because it is significantly under 109. 109 passing yards for a Power 5 Division I quarterback at a school, for what it's worth, did go to the Big Ten championship game last year. Spencer Petras threw for 109 yards, but the Iowa defense, they got it done for him because, again, they got 2 safeties, which now I think about it is incredibly impressive, and I don't like giving shout-outs to Iowa. But that will do it for Shootout with Strick. 2 in a row for the Husker Hall of Famer, but we will have it again tomorrow. Do not worry. We always give away $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings, no matter what. We got a whole nother hour of On the Block. We got a lot of great content, too, including NFL football. We get some NFL
we
football
love
tonight.
It.
We're
tonight!
Tonight! Football is back in the NFL. We will break all of it down for you, and we got a treat as well. We got Kevin Meyer, Thirsty Thursday. He's going to be joining On the Block.
He's on the block today.
He's joining On the Block today, so we'll have Kevin Meyer as well. So make sure you stick with us. A whole other hour of On the Block next. 93.7 The Ticket. Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School today from 4 to 6 at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday. Today, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
Bagels & Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels & Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln, and has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
You work way too hard to blend in. It's time for your business to stand out from the crowd. Revolution Wraps takes your image to the next level with professional, high-quality vehicle wraps, signage, interior graphics, trade show displays, and plenty more. They do it all in-house, from design to print to installation. Call Revolution Wraps in either Lincoln or Omaha for a free quote today at 402-475-2886. Or see what they can do for your business online at revolutionwraps.com. Revolution Wraps. Start something big. Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School today from 4 to 6 at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday today, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
And Hokie Homer turned Husker, Nathan Brennan.
Everyone knows that I'm the smartest person here.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
We're back on the block. The boys. The NFL. College football. Volleyball. It's all on fire.
A little bit of everything.
We're talking about the boys right now, not the Cowboys. No. We're not going to talk about them right now. Because NFL football starts tonight. Week 1 of football and the game of the century. September the 8th, 7:20 p.m. on NBC. The boys are back. The Bills at L.A. against the Rams. Oh, my gosh. Setting it off on the first night on a Thursday. Don't think that E. Stricky is not going to be sitting in front of the TV with a brewski watching that one.
I might have to join you with that.
It's a phenomenal game. Lots to look at this game. I think this is a this is a tone setter for the season. How is it going to look? Who's going to be the one that comes out on top? Is it going to be the defense and the wonderful Cooper Kupp, who's looking at an MVP run? Stafford, is he going to set it off and have a repeat of a wonderful season he had last year? Or is it going to be the up-and-coming quarterback, Josh Allen, and the crew? So what say you, Hokies Homer?
Well, first off, we definitely want to get your guys' thoughts on the game, too. 402-464-5685. I'm incredibly excited for the NFL to be back. I'm a big NFL guy. Oh, it is back, and this is a hell of a matchup. I'll break through some of it for you. Bills open as 2.5 point favorites. Over-under set at 52. Looking at the injury report, Quentin Morris, backup tight end for the Bills, he is out. Or excuse me, he's questionable. So is Tommy Doyle, offensive tackle. The Rams lose OBJ in the offseason. Van Jefferson also out in this one. So might be some more targets towards Cooper Kupp as well as Tyler Higbee. To be honest with you, I think this is about as good of a matchup as you want, because if you had to predict the Super Bowl matchup, this honestly might be what I roll with. It'll be interesting to see how the Rams come off the Super Bowl hangover. Matt Stafford, his first year with the Rams, was about as successful as it possibly could have been. But the Bills, from what I've heard from outside people and from what I've heard from a lot of fans too, is that this is their year. Now, is that the case? I'm not entirely sure, but Josh Allen, preseason favorite to win the MVP. The Bills, the preseason favorite to win the Super Bowl as well. The thing is I always respect the Super Bowl champions. Like, I know there was a few changes that happened. I know OBJ was a big factor, especially in the playoffs before he got hurt in the Super Bowl. I'm rolling with the Rams. Like, I love Matt
Stafford.
You got to
be the champion.
You got to, like, these are the defending champions. They're at home, which is interesting because the NFL usually gives you 3 points if you're the home favorites. That means that they're favoring the Bills in a sense by 6. I don't know about that. I think it's a little bit disrespectful to have the line like that. I'm gonna go. Ooh, I like Thompson Lincoln. 35-38 overtime Rams win. I'm gonna say 35-31 Rams.
I like. So here's the thing and the dynamic that I'm looking at. I think about how after a season, you played some of the best football that you played. You performed, you were on the verge of breaking through, getting to one of the biggest games of your life. And at the end of the day, you come up short off of some hokey action. Good play. I mean, well done by the Chiefs. Listen, got the job done.
Crazy
game, right?
Crazy.
But the taste that you have in your mouth after a season like that, is that a driving factor? Is that something that's going to energize you as you go through camp, as you kind of watching film? Do you have a different chip on your shoulder than even you had that last year? How much more do you want it? The savor that I think the Bills have for this particular game alone to show and prove that even though we didn't have everybody, we've all lost pieces. But at the end of the day, I get to break your back and beat your teeth in and showing everybody that this is what it would have looked like or it should have looked like. I think that's a different type of energy that you can have. Sometimes when you're a champion, you kind of come in. I think only one of the champions that I thought really just had that killer instinct no matter what was just Chicago Bulls. As old as they were, you could easily just be like, you know what, we got our championships. Like, I want to know if this Rams team has that, because Aaron Donald was basically after that game, he was saying, I got it, I got my ring, I'm done,
thinking about retiring.
I'm out.
Yeah.
So when somebody like that is looking, does he have that same passion coming back? That's what I'm interested in looking at when it comes to this matchup on Thursday. Well, tonight.
Yeah. Dylan says Bills 42-13 over the Rams.
Whoa!
That's a hell of a score there. The Rams will have a Super Bowl hangover, plus their O-line isn't what it was last year. That's
a great point.
But an interesting stat for you. Believe it or not, under Sean McVay, the Rams have never been below 500. So I know it's week 1, but technically they would, if they lose tonight, this is the first time Sean McVay as the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams would be under 500.
Here's my thing.
That's insane.
Here's my thing. I'm throwing this back to you.
All right.
We're playing U.S. Open action right now. Shout out to Talfo. I'm saying it wrong. Talfo.
I don't know how to say it.
I don't know how to say it.
He knocked off Rafael Nadal.
Knocked off Nadal. Yeah. Shout out to him. U.S. Open, the first American since Andy Roddick to be in the semis, which is awesome. So I wanted to give that shout out. Anyway, so here's the deal. Great coach or great organization? Rams.
I'm going to answer this question, and then I'm going to throw it back to you.
No.
I want to know your perspective.
Okay.
It's kind of similar, kind of a little bit different. I think it's a little bit of both. I think Sean McVay is an elite coach. I think probably the best in the NFL outside of Bill Belichick, who I think is the greatest of all time. And even I'll say that, and I can't say in the Patriots. I think the Rams are a very well-run organization. I think it's a little bit questionable, basically trading away every single draft pick that you have to load up the team that you did. But hey,
it worked for you.
You got you super. It's similar to what the Chicago Cubs
did. And you managed it after that.
Right. I mean, you give away all your assets, but you win, and you somehow
Somehow.
People smarter than me are moving the money around.
I don't know what they're doing. Hey, look, it's the 3-card Monty. It's the 3-card Monty that they did with the money in their salary cap. I don't know how they did it, but
I have no idea how that happened. But I think it's a combination of both. I just think it's a very well run organization. Sean McVay has proven at the NFL level. I mean, even without Matt Stafford, you got to remember a lot of people are critical of Jared Goff. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl. And maybe it was the system, maybe it wasn't, but Sean McVay has proven, even without a Matt Stafford, he can be successful. So I'm all in on Sean McVay. That's why I think the Rams get it done here. No shot at McDermott over there for the Bills, but I just think Sean McVay is a better coach. Texter gives us a good stat here, too. Bills 0-6 last season in one-score games. Rams were 7-1. So if the game if it's tight, if it's close, you might want to assume that the Rams are going to pull that one out. It'll be interesting to see if that stat holds up this year. I want to throw that back to you, Strick, because as someone that played in the NBA and played for a few franchises, what's the vibe? I mean, I know you've been somewhat critical of the Knicks, and I think anyone from the outside can see that's not a very well-run organization. Do you think the Super Bowl hangover doesn't have the same feel just because it is that good of an organization? Like, what's the feel in a locker room of a team that, you know, you're in a good organization, you know, it's well run, you know, you have a good coach, but then on the flip side, you've played for teams that are poorly managed.
Right.
What's the vibe then in that sense?
I think it's the thing that you have to look at. Usually championship teams are given a very difficult schedule. Right.
I mean, look at this. Bills week 1.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That normally is the case. So normally out the gate with changes, adjustments in your roster, situations, that hangover, you're still kind of feeling on a high. Sometimes you get off to a slow start. Not that you're a bad team, but sometimes you may end up with a 1-2 starting record,
right,
or an 0-3 starting record, and then you get on fire, and you end up rattling it off some, and then you end up with like a 12-4, or maybe 11-5 record, something like that, right? That sometimes is the case. That's what I'm interested in seeing, because the good thing about the Rams is their defense is capable, very capable of holding up anything that rust or hangover that the offense has. And that's one of the things that if you have a really good defense, it can end up helping you in times where you have those sluggish moments. Right. I think the Bills are improved in that area with the loss of, just some changes, a few adjustments. Is it good enough to overcome that tremendous defense that the Rams have? That's what it's going to be. You're going to know early on in this game how it's going to go, but it's going to also depend on how long the defense is out there. I don't care how much training you do. You can never train for game experience. I don't care how much you don't really do much on the exhibitions and those preseason games. You don't really do much. How much work are you really getting in that full scale of a game? So we'll see how the defense holds up. If they're out there too long, I think they'll end up faltering. So we'll see.
I think interesting too, you mentioned the defense. For the Rams, they pick up Bobby Wagner, one of the better linebackers in the NFL, and the Bills pick up Von Miller. So I mean, you look at both of these defenses, I mean, and pretty darn good. Do you like the Thursday night week 1 matchup being like this? Because rightfully so, the NFL gets its fair share of criticism that Thursday night games aren't what they used to be. I mean, you get games like the Jets and the Jags, for crying out loud. I wish the NFL did this more. I don't know if maybe it's just because teams that are, I don't know, successful have more of a say that we don't want to play on Thursday night, but I feel like that's just kind of a pattern in the NFL. You get just crappy games. This is awesome. Like week 1, Bills, Rams, this very well could be your Super Bowl matchup. It's the first game of the season. I don't know. I just hope that they keep up with something like this, because I don't want to see a crummy game on Thursday night. What are you going to tune in for that for?
Man, yeah, no one wants to. I think when you look across the board in sports, there's been a lot of changes. Like right now, MLB is struggling. They're struggling in ratings. They're struggling in attendance.
Tatis too, one of their brightest stars.
Yeah, the brightest stars.
Yeah.
I think when they, the top out of 23 of the teams or something like that are down in their numbers as far as their ratings and attendance. So when you look across the board, football has kind of maintained a pretty stable condition. Basketball has even lost some. So you want to do this, right? You want to set the tone, because guess what else is coming? You've got, after this following, you've got another XFL trying to emerge and take some people. You've got all these, like, you USFL, you've got these guys.
Just bury them.
So you want to just bury them. And that's the way you bury somebody, is really just go out and just make it evident that there's no way that you can jump in this space in any form or fashion, no matter when you're playing it, and duplicate or beat what we're doing here at the NFL.
Right. All right. Before we go to break, I want to make sure to get your score prediction. What do you got tonight? And I'm asking you first, and I want you to answer first, because honestly, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to go with.
24-17 Bills.
24-17 Bills. So you like Josh Allen?
I like Josh Allen. MVP for me.
Really?
I'm rolling.
I like Derek Carr.
I'm rolling that because he used to throw balls to my boy, C.J. Johnson.
All right. Fair enough. Is that what I think I'm going to stick with mine. 35-31 Rams. I'm buying the Rams. Hey, listen, you got to beat the Super Bowl champions. I'll write those down. I'll see what happens. Again, an exciting game because the NFL is back. Very exciting, too. Also, shout out to Jay Foreman. He's going to have his NFL show on Sunday, so you can get the actually former Buffalo Bill. He'll break all of that down for us. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the other side. We're going to talk a little bit more Nebraska football. NFL definitely exciting. We're ready to go. Nebraska's got a game, too. Stick with us. You listen on the block. 937 The Ticket. Join DP and Jay Foreman for Old School today from 4 to 6 at the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus. The guys will be broadcasting from the Barred Owl Patio Bar on the top floor. Come see the best views in town with great drinks on Thirsty Thursday. Today, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus.
Jake Bachman here. Before you get back to the golf course, let me tell you about my friends at Solarion. I've been working with them for many years, and they've been a great place to work with, helping develop new pharmaceutical products. All I do is check the website for possible studies that might apply to me, see if they fit into my schedule, and if I'm eligible for participation within the parameters laid out, I can make up to $500 per day in a study, and feel confident in the staff and research done by Solarion to be a willing participant. I was one of 800 participants at Solarion in Lincoln last year and will continue to be. If you're curious about how you can earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion and with several options for scheduling, check them out at helpresearch.com/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Keep your tailgate cool with the dazzling hot deal from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase of only $1,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sartor Heyman has gorgeous jewelry in every price range, so buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a Yeti cooler for free. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and snatch up this cool jewelry deal. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a Tailgate pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln.
My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days, with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers. The fall sports season is here, and Brown Shoe Fit is celebrating that with a sale on athletic shoes. From now through the end of August, get $10 off any regular priced athletic shoe up to $105, and get $15 off shoes regularly priced at over $105. These are shoe brands including New Balance, Brooks, Hoka, and On. Gear up for the busy fall season today with the athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, located at 66th and Q.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening on the block 93.7 The Ticket. My name is Nate Brennan. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. As always, we want to hear from you. 402-464-5685. That's the Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you head over to YouTube, I have just one request. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,500 subscribers before the Huskers kickoff against Georgia Southern this weekend. And bringing up Georgia Southern and Nebraska, Strick, I kind of want to get your, I guess I won't say final thoughts. I know it'll be talked about again tomorrow as well, but is building off of Anthony Grant just kind of what we're going with for this season? Because I know maybe we've blown it out of proportion a little bit saying, oh, Georgia Southern, like, come on. It's still Georgia Southern. I anticipate Nebraska will win, but I know Husker fans probably a little bit more nervous than you would assume for a game like this. What are just kind of your keys to victory, and what do you want to see this weekend?
Again, for me, I get back to your way of doing it was not working, meaning your pass dominant type of offense with sprinkling in runs and read options, and your leading rusher was your quarterback, right? That method didn't work for you. God had some success. God kept you in games, but ultimately you lost those games, right? So I'm saying you're in the Big Ten West what has been successful in the Big Ten West. Obviously, yes, we understand that the athletes in the other side have been very dominant, with your Ohio States. Their style is very balanced with the run and the pass. You're seeing those that do have success over there, other than Michigan, is very probably more run dominated on that side. Michigan State with a good balance, but some great running backs. And that's where they've had success. Whereas I want to see you establish that part, because it'll open up so many more aspects of your offensive playbook. If you're very pass heavy, we know what happens in that. When you don't have a stout defense with depth to follow that up, you end up with a lot of 3 and outs. You're behind the chains a lot. And if you don't have that kind of power, that separation, those type of receivers that can really create space, then 3rd and longs for you is trouble, because cornerbacks are smart. They're sitting. They're able to squat on 10 yards. They're able to kind of know route patterns that can only get you there. You know what I mean? And they're going to kind of mix up a zone blitzes, time. If you don't have a great line to give you that, then you're most likely 3 and out situations, which then put your defense at a disadvantage, because the majority of the game they're on the field. I know that took me a second to get to there, but I had to explain the context of that, because that is the difference between Nebraska having success on the gridiron this year and not, is those opportunities to not only get off on 3rd downs on the defensive side, but to not have the defense so on the field like it was in the first half. You're talking about 20 minutes to 9. That's ludicrous.
Unreal.
Against good teams, you're not winning that game, because you're going to be dead tired and they're going to beat the brakes off of you over time. So that's the way I see it.
I think Dylan says, I want to see Casey take over a game and end it before halftime. That'll go into my next question. And I'm not even sure if this is really even a question that we can say after last week, but is there any type of scenario that makes you a little bit more optimistic for this team and for this season? Because as Andrew pointed out, like at halftime, there's nothing Nebraska could have done in the second half outside of maybe putting up like 50 for me to be like, all right, this is all okay. Once you went into that half 7-7, and even on top of that, we can even take it a step further. 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You're tied 17-17. It didn't matter to me, and maybe that's just me just being overly pessimistic in that sense, but I saw that and I was like, there's nothing they can do in this 4th quarter
change your mind.
to change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a game that worries me moving forward, and it's a game where you didn't really see outside of Anthony Grant. That was definitely a welcoming sight. Outside of Anthony Grant, I was like, oh my gosh, like this could be rough. Is there anything in this game against Georgia Southern that can maybe change my mind, change your mind, change the fan base mind? Anything?
Well, I think it's really understanding how good this, or how potentially good this secondary can be. If the secondary is able to hold up with the pressure that's going to be put on them, if the front line, I'm not even worried about the run game. I'm worried about, is O'Shawn Mathis, who he says he is Garrett Nelson and Caleb Tanner and those guys,
leaders,
are they able to get pressure on this? Because if he's able to stand back there and just
he'll light you up,
he's going to light you up. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can be my daughter could be the quarterback, and if she can just stand back there and pick where she wants to go, I mean, let's be real about it. Right. If they can't apply any pressure, relieve any pressure for those DBs in the secondary, and if the DBs can hold up, then that'll give me some hope, because we're going to be tested in that area, but also in the front. It's going to be a holistic test. When you talk about Oklahoma, we've seen how you get killed against Northwestern in the run. We've seen how a balanced team can hold you down, how you had to preserve. You saw that out of North. Now we're going to see pass raid. How are they going to hold up? Are they going to get tired? What's their depth going to look like? What their DBs are going to be able to do? That's what was going to be the test for me, to see if there's any semblance of hope on a successful Big Ten season.
I just think the biggest thing for me, like, I want to see just a blowout. Like this is a team that on paper you should. So is North Dakota. Like it's a team on paper you should smoke. You should blow out. Get Casey Thompson out by halftime. Like let's just have.
I want to see some birdie.
35-0 at halftime. Get him out.
Ramir Johnson. I want to see them all.
Something.
Yeah.
Like I don't. And that's the thing too is like you mentioned. Like this Georgia Southern team is offensively pretty good team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see a shootout. I don't want to see it 28-28 going into the fourth quarter. No. And this from start to finish. We got good news, Strick.
Thursday.
All of our boys, actually. Kevin Meyer, he is in the building. We are ready to go. We're about to get our drink on, get some wine, get some beer. Hear what's going over at Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Get Kevin's insight, too, on the game because I know he's a big Nebraska fan, and he might be
I want to know what Patio Pounder is going to be on.
I want to know what Patio Pounders are drinking this weekend. So make sure you stick with us because we got Thirsty Thursday. Meyer's Cork and Bottle. It's up next on the block. 937 The Ticket.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
You work way too hard to blend in. It's time for your business to stand out from the crowd. Revolution Wraps takes your image to the next level with professional, high-quality vehicle wraps, signage, interior graphics, trade show displays, and plenty more. They do it all in-house, from design to print to installation. Call Revolution Wraps in either Lincoln or Omaha for a free quote today at 402-475-2886. Or see what they can do for your business online at revolutionwraps.com. Revolution Wraps. Start something big.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Kelsey Fluhop of Security First Bank.
As a mortgage loan officer, I value my customers and work to make the mortgage process easy and even rewarding.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 505011 and 1730635.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Join us on Friday from 2 to 6 on the rooftop at Barry's as we get you ready for Saturday's game against Georgia Southern. On the block with Eric Strickland and Nate Brennan, followed by Old School with Jay Foreman and DP this Friday from 2 to 6 at Barry's on 9th and Q.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. We saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Ooh. Woo, you heard it.
That was a beauty.
Pop, pop. The way it's supposed to be. Thirsty Thursday is back on the block.
Yes.
Once again.
We're back.
We're back. As the song told you earlier, we knew it. We knew it all along. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Can't get rid of us.
Kevin's Myers. Cork and Bottles in the house today, Thirsty Thursday. I'm excited, as you can see. Stricky is on fire right now because it is going to be a tasty treat. What patio pounders do you have on deck for us for this weekend? Hopefully, we'll pound some Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern.
That's the goal, at least.
I love the energy. I got to turn down my earphones, though, Strick.
Woo!
All right, let's do this.
Let's do himself. Talk to your boy.
All right. Well, let's start out with the beer.
Patio pounder today.
So,
Patio pounder.
What I was doing is, I wasn't very familiar with Georgia Southern, so I started trying to do a little bit of homework on a little background, like who went to Georgia Southern, what kind of program do they have, and come to find out, a couple of famous people are Georgia Southern alumni. Luke Bryan, famous country singer. I always think, though, he sounds like Kermit the Frog. Like, hey, y'all, this is Luke Bryan.
That was pretty good, Kevin.
That's actually that was awesome. Just like it, right?
That sounds just like it.
And then Cole Swindell, another country music guy. But my favorite is a guy by the name of Walton Goggins. Did you ever see the show Justified?
No.
Oh, man. It's one of the best miniseries. It's a couple, 3 seasons long. I think it was on
Is it
FX.
Netflix?
Yeah, I think it was on FX.
Oh, it's on FX.
Yeah, and it had basically this guy who was like a law enforcement, and his name on the show. Well,
that's good.
It is good. Actor's name was Timothy Oliphant, but the sort of his arch nemesis was this guy named Boyd Crowder. And it's this awesome show, and you have to check it out. It's called Justified, and the guy who played Boyd Crowder is called Walton Goggins, and the show is called Justified, and he's just an incredible actor. And I think once you see the show, you're like, hey, I know who that guy is. So pretty cool stuff. But Anyway, that was my Georgia Southern bit.
Some we didn't know.
Great for the insight.
Yeah.
So tell me about this patio pounder for today.
All right. So Code Brewing, not too far away down here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska, around the 19th and N area, 19th and or 20th and N area. They have a tap room over there. And this is their Oktoberfest, and this is a Martzen style, which is a little bit different from what we've tried previously.
Tastes malty.
Yeah. Malty. Yes, that's exactly what it's all about.
Stricky knows.
Check out the big
a beer connoisseur.
I know. Look at it. Changed over.
My goodness.
He's moved over.
Gotta get him working at the shop there, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. Hey, we can use some extra part-time help here.
As long as you have Strix picks.
Yeah, we'll do Strix picks. Absolutely. You know, and I'm sure $11 an hour good for you.
That'll work.
All right, sweet.
Perfect.
Work.
Negotiations live on the air.
So
there you
go. What we had done previously, we did the pumpkin ale last week, and the week before that we did a fest beer.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the history behind Oktoberfest is back in 1810, at the time Prince Ludwig got married, and they threw a great big party for the entire city of Munich. It lasted like a week or 2 weeks long, and they brewed a special beer for it. And it was a little bit of a different take away from their traditional lager. And a traditional German lager has to operate under what's called the German purity law. You can only put 4 things into it. It's got to be water, hops, yeast, and grain. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they did with this beer is that they roasted the malts a little more, give it a little bit darker color, a little bit more of an amber, so it takes on a little bit of that maltier flavor. And this is like fall football in a glass.
Yes.
NFL
starting.
There
you go.
College game day.
The weather's
going to
pregame
for it.
The weather's going to cool off this weekend. Watching football, but sitting outside.
Weather.
The leaves are starting to turn. That's what beer is all about. And it's brewed right here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nice.
So tell me this. What is good types of food for Oktoberfest? Is it bratwurst?
Yes.
All that type of stuff?
Yeah.
With all the
sausage.
It's sausagey.
Yeah. Sausagey. But I think tailgate food is Oktoberfest food.
Mm-hmm.
Wings, bratwurst, barbecue, anything off the smoker, brisket, pulled pork, any of that is good.
All the stuff we ate at Mary Ellen's last night.
Yes.
Shout out Mary Ellen's.
Shout out Mary Ellen's.
Yeah, shout out Mary
that looked like fire.
Oh my gosh, you should have been there, my boy.
Been there, Kevin.
You missed it. You should have brought a couple of these patio pounders. we would have been over there lit.
The mugs.
We would have been there well into the night.
I could have had my wife wear lederhosen,
Could have brought the kilt and played the
there you go.
And played the what is it called? What is the thing in Ireland or Scotland?
Bagpipes.
Yeah.
Well, now we're mixing cultures here and countries. But that's okay.
Oh no.
Strick said he can play the bagpipes.
I can play it.
No way.
Put it in front of me. I'll play it.
No way.
Well, here's the thing: is that the bagpipes are so annoying that you can't tell the difference between a good one and a bad one.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
It's blowing it and hit a bunch of buttons and it goes wah 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 wah. Like it does when someone apparently knows what they're doing.
I can play the boys are back in town.
We'll bring it to Barry. We'll bring one to Barry's tomorrow. We'll have Strick play the bagpipes from the rooftop.
The Barry's rooftop. Kevin, let me ask you this: if you had to pair this with one food, what would it be that we're drinking right now?
The
patio pounder or the mount.
The patio pounder.
Okay. The Oktoberfest. I think a good brat with some nice spicy mustard.
Ooh.
Yeah, spicy yellow mustard.
Some onions, some grilled
onions. Oh yeah.
Some sauerkraut.
Maybe some kraut.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not a big sauerkraut guy.
I'm not a huge kraut. A little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
Relish,
or even like some
relish,
some pickled onion.
One of those underrated,
like the pickled onion, like the pickled beer too.
No, see, that's why Kevin can't talk about pickles because the pickle beer.
That's already messed up my head for life, bro.
Oh man,
the pickle beer's messed my head
Whenever
up.
I hear pickle, that's all I think.
I think about that beer. It's so nasty.
Have you ever had pickled onions? You take the red onion, you put it in vinegar, and then it also has a little bit of sugar in there, and then some spices.
Have you had some pig feet?
Well, no, not some pig feet.
Oh, where did that come from? It came from the patio counter.
That's the October. Only a quarter of a glass for Strick next time.
That's the but like
I mean,
Kevin,
I have the physique, but that's something like Boss Hogg. I've been watching Dukes of Hazzard lately or something.
You do always bring the best stuff, Kevin. I appreciate it, but I think you were just messing with us with the pickle beer because that was mine.
Yeah, you threw us a wrench in that one.
Here, try this. Ooh.
Well, that's kind of part of the entertainment, right? Because they can't all be good.
True.
And so it's like, I was
keep us
messing
on our
with you a
toes.
little.
I think he had a hidden camera on us, so it's part of his marketing plan.
Yeah.
So that when they saw our face change when we drank the pickle beer, that's part of the marketing plan. It's like there's pictures of all of us sitting right there in Myers Corgan Bar.
I didn't get to try the pickle beer.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was the funny part because you had that look on your face, but then you're also not trying to badmouth it on the air and make me look bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting back here watching, but
that's
that was definitely for my own benefit.
That's how you know that we're honest, though. We
I'll
say
give
we
you
like it because we were just like, oh, Kevin. I don't know about this one. I don't know.
And that's totally cool. They can't all be home runs every time it's a bunt single, and every time it's a swing and a miss. Pickle beer is a swing and a miss. Piatelli Malbec from Argentina.
My favorite red.
Yes. I knew Strick is a big Malbec guy. So.
This might be a Strick's pick. We got to.
This is a Strick's picky right here.
He already knows.
Toast.
Stricky's picky.
To On the Block and all the blockheads.
Yeah, toast all the blockheads. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
that's all right, Stricky.
I love it when he talks about himself in the third person.
Stricky spilled. All right, Kevin, what are we drinking right now? I know it's a Strick's pick, so I'm assuming it's a red.
Indeed, it is. This is a Malbec from Argentina. And Malbec is a grape that
smells excellent.
Originates in the sort of southwestern part of France, a place called Cahors. And but they also blend it in the Bordeaux wines. And in Bordeaux, which is the sort of the west central part of the country, there's what they call the 5 noble varietals. So it's Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot generally make up about 95% of the blend. And then the other 5% can be made up of the other 3, which is Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, and then this grape, Malbec. Ooh. And
it says high altitude. Tell me about that.
Okay, so these are some of the highest altitude vineyards in the world. And normally when these are up close to 8,000 feet, which normally that would be way too high up.
Ooh. What changes it because of the altitude? Well, I know you're breaking it down, but I want to know.
You ever spent any time in the mountains in the summertime? Gets nice and hot during the day, nice and chilly at night. Campfire time, you put the hoodie on.
Yeah.
Okay, so what that does is it allows for the slow maturity of the grapes when you get the contrast of warm days and cool nights. And they develop more what's called phenols. And the more phenols that those grapes develop within them create a more complex wine. They're chemical compounds. And so that's why certain wines are more complex and other wines are more simple, is the number of phenols that they have. And you need that long, slow maturity of the fruit in order for that to happen. And what's happening as the earth is getting warmer and warmer, a lot of these wine producers are having to go higher and higher so they get more of that contrast so that those grapes don't ripen too soon. Because if they ripen too early, it makes a pretty simple wine. There's not a lot of complexity there, and you're not going to be able to fetch the kind of price you want for it. So there's more to it than that.
Does it give it more alcohol content?
Not necessarily, because alcohol content.
Got excited. He's got one thing on his mind.
Yeah. Alcohol content is a byproduct of sugar, right? So the higher the residual sugar at harvest, then the higher the alcohol content will have to be in order to bring the wine in balance, because you start with sugar and yeast and you introduce the yeast eats the sugar and ferments into 2 things, carbon dioxide and alcohol. Now with a still wine, meaning it doesn't have any bubbles, that carbon dioxide is allowed to release out. How they create a champagne is that they trap it in when it undergoes.
That's why when you pop, it goes flying out.
That's exactly right.
It's dangerous.
Can be.
Somebody
it can be.
And
it can be. I want Nick to get involved because Nick is kind of quiet. He's a young connoisseur. He's coming along.
A young connoisseur
here.
He's trying to.
I'm still trying to find my wine, my type of wine. So I've yet to find one that I really, really enjoy.
You mean as far as red or
palate, what like flavor?
Or rosé?
Maybe. I remember that one vividly. That
you
like
brought
sweet
in. Wine.
See, I just don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
You like liquor. He wants the hard stuff.
Give me some tequila.
Tequila.
Bring in some crap. No, I'm kidding.
Well, the thing
Shots
about
on
wine,
Thirsty
shots
Thursday.
on Thirsty Thursday.
and I think in order to find the wine that is your wine,
Yeah.
is that you have to have it with food. And
Mhm.
basically, I've
Yeah.
said this before in the air. Everywhere else in the world, wine is considered a food. It's not really considered an alcoholic beverage. And so when you begin to have it with food and think of it more as a food, then that light bulb starts to come off, because you find out the type of wine that fits well with the food that you like the best. And so, that to me is part of the journey. I'm also kind of a foodie. Both my wife and I love to cook. And, a lot of times people ask me, where do I find the best steak in town? I'm like, well, my back deck is usually the best steak in town, because I put a lot of care and love into it. And so when you think of wine in that context, then you'll start to discover what your wine is, Mr. Nick's wine. So
Exactly. Like the beer, like Oktoberfest. So this is the second Oktoberfest that I've ever had, and I like them both. I like the the more malty flavor as well. But the one that you brought in 2 weeks ago when I was here, I
that was more of a straight lager, and this is what's known as a Marzen. And the
Marzen.
Marzen style is when they roast the malts a little bit.
I'm going to tell you, Kevin, when we first started doing Thirsty Thursday, I didn't know my wine either. I think I'm going to officially say today I'm becoming a red wine guy.
Attaboy.
That was pretty good. And I know
Yes.
first when we started drinking the red wine, I was like, I don't know. This is
That's
some
why
good
I
red
love it.
wine. I'll tell you that.
That's
I
why I
know,
love
I know
it.
Strick's a big fan.
Well,
I'm a big fan.
The number one thing to me about Malbec, especially ones from South America, is that they tend to deliver some of the best bang for your buck in the marketplace.
How much is a
These
Piatelli?
are $15.99 every day.
Not bad.
Wow. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and to me, I mean, I've had wines that are $30-$40 a bottle that aren't necessarily any better than this is.
Wow.
And so,
Right.
again, you get that sort of the higher elevated vineyards, plus land there and labor there is more expensive, or excuse me, less expensive than it is here. You
Right.
think about going to Napa Valley and people are paying $10 million an acre for prime vineyard land, and plus the taxes and everything else you got to deal with in California. It's really hard to make a bottle of wine that goes on the shelf for under $30. So, and the great thing about Malbec is that it's one of the few grape varietals that continues to get better the older it gets. And so what happens is that these vines get these big gnarly trunks on them, and they produce fewer clusters of grapes. And then the berries on those clusters are also smaller, but the older they get, they develop a thicker skin to them. And so they can leave it on the vine longer and longer and longer, again, developing more phenols, developing more chemical compounds, and then also concentrating the sugars, making a wine that is bold and complex, but yet very hearty because of that thick skin. And so some of these vines are well over 100 years old.
Kevin, I know we're running out of time
Yeah.
here, but Eric's got a quick question for you. I heard a thing called noble rot on grapes. Do they use these in wines? I'm not sure if you know what that is.
Yeah. So noble rot is essential in making usually dessert wines. And it's basically kind of a mold, but it acts like a valve. And so what happens, it originates mostly in Germany, but there's a place called, or a wine called Sauterne in France, but it allows basically the grape skin gets shrouded by this mold, and it allows the moisture to evaporate out and thus concentrates the sugars. And so then it creates a wine that is like these delectably sweet, like nectar-like dessert wines. And it's all because of this mold that forms on the grapes. It's pretty cool thing. It looks gross, but it actually helps in making dessert wine.
Awesome. And what deals you got for us? I know a lot of people getting ready for tailgate, and you guys probably seen a lot more traffic. Yes.
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
still have plenty of beer, everything ready for tailgate?
Yeah, we've been super busy with events and tailgates and gosh, fundraisers. Our September is insane. But we're getting in brand new fall seasonals every week. Like Joe said, he had 80 new options to choose from just this week alone.
Wow.
Obviously, we can't bring them all in. We have to bring in the ones that we think are going to strike a chord with our clientele. But new wine features, new beer features, and then of course all your tailgate essentials too. So we sell fireball shooters too.
Hey, now you're talking my
Jack of all
language.
trades. You
Now you're
need a
talking
little
my
something to
language.
head down with, something you can fit in the pocket. And we're on our way. So especially if you're coming from South Lincoln, just swing by Myers and we'll take good care of you.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, I'll go ahead and let you wrap up with saying what we drank today. And you know what? I'm going to have you close it out. Make sure you toss it to old school.
Toss it
Old
to
school's
school.
after this. I'll let you close out the show.
All right. So what we had was Piatelli Malbec from Argentina, and we had Code Marzen Oktoberfest from right here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska. Next up, we've got Old School with DP&J coming from the Scarlet Hotel. K&TK The Ticket and KNTKtheticket.com.
Yeah. We out of here on the block. We'll see y'all tomorrow.